Today we're going to rebuild this Suntour Superbe derailleur. Some tools you're going to need are a pick, a screwdriver, some Allen keys, some pliers, and a 10mm wrench. There you go. All right, now time to service this spring here. First thing you want to do, grab your screwdriver, pull back the cage a little bit, and then unscrew this little pin right here. Now carefully let it spring back, like so, and then now you want to unscrew this big bolt right here. Now you want to keep the cage on here and just crack open this little bolt right here. There you go. May want to move that out of the way to get it out. There you go. And now, as you see, there is a small pin in there, or like this little plate. You want to grab your pick, kind of nudge it out, like so. You just want to nudge it out just enough so it sticks out like this. Then grab your pliers and pull it out like that. And then make sure you have a magnetic tray or something around so you don't lose it, because you will lose it, I guarantee you. Now, just using your pick, carefully pop off this little plastic seal. Should just pop out like that, and then just push out your bolt. There you go. Just leave this spring here, don't touch it. And now for the P-spring. As you can tell, if I put my pliers here and try to move this bolt, the bolt on the other side is just going to move with it. So what you want to do is grab your 6mm here, put your pliers here, apply some pressure and crack it loose. Now it should just screw right off. There we go. And now we got everything all nice and taken apart. Now it's time to clean. For this you can use like a brake cleaner, acetone, alcohol, whatever you need, whatever you got. Remember that brake cleaner or acetone could damage some of the logos here, and you probably want to keep those. So, and in my case, I'm using this ultrasonic cleaner. All I'm using is water and dish soap. All right, now we got everything all nice and cleaned down. Now it's time to assemble. Another thing you're gonna need is grease. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is just grease up this little part right here where the pinochle is, both sides. And grab your bolt, slide it on through. And then grab the nut on the other side. There could be a washer here, but mine, of course, got lost, so we don't have it. Just screw it on. There you go. All right, you can also screw in that B-limit screw bolt right there. And now for this spring, I just used some Park Tool, just bearing grease, just to keep that spring from rusting. And now you want to grab your cage and grab your other bolt stud thing. All right, now once you got this bolt in, just grab your seal, make sure it's all clean, and slide it on. Make sure you push it all the way in like this. There you go. All right, next we're gonna put the little nut on here, but before we do that, we have to put this pin in first. All it does is just make sure these jaws don't close in on each other and cause the threads to strip. If you don't have it, don't worry, just tighten it a little less, but it's always best to have one of these. Just put it in all the way in. Make sure it's flush like that. Make sure the little edges are sticking out. Now grease up this area and then put your little plastic washer thing on. You wanna grease that up as well. Make sure it goes all the way in. There's also a couple washers. There's a thin one and a thick one. Slide those on as well. And then now we have the nut itself right here. Okay, now you should be able to screw this nut on fairly easily. As you see, we have that little tab in there. Now you want to grab your cage. You want to grease up that bottom area because it's going to slide on that plastic bushing. And now, as you see, there's a hex pattern here. And that allows us to match with that, and it'll give us a bunch of options for how tight we want the cage. So you see here, this is an option. If I move it clockwise more, it's going to get tighter over here. I'm going to go with about right here. This is about what I recommend. And then we're going to move the cage counterclockwise and put the pin in. We're just going to rotate it counterclockwise like this all the way around, and then screw in that pin. There you go. And just remember, for the cage position, the more clockwise you go, the tighter it's going to get, and vice versa. All right, now time for the pulleys. I just greased up the inside of this plastic part here with some saran butter. Same thing with this bushing, just grease up the inside of it nice and good. Slide it on there, put on your 2 seals, and then just slide it onto the bolt. There you go. And before you put on your pulley, just grease up this little shaft here. Just grab your cage, grab your little nut, and bolt it on. And same thing for this other pulley, just grease up all the bushings, grease up the bolt, and screw it on. All right, now just tighten down your pulley bolts, make sure they're all snug, make sure they spin nice and smooth. Make sure this bolt is also snug, make sure the cage is all nice and smooth. Put on your little clamp bolt. Now you got yourself a fully rebuilt derailleur. There you go. This thing is one of those derailleurs that won't even hesitate to break way after you're dead. It's like the Rolls Royce of derailleurs, pretty much. And yeah, now that we've serviced it, it's good for another 500 years. So yeah, hope you found this video helpful, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.